My name is Brent West, and welcome to Around the Table.
I'm Michael Bolton, co-host Around the Table. Today we're going to be talking about how mad we are about the stupid World Cup game today between the U.S. and Ghana. So Brent, what do you have to say about that terrible game?
Well, it's the same old U.S. They always let it go in the first 10 minutes. What?
It's like the fifth minute mark.
I know they've done it. They've done it in
England.
the past 3 games of the 4 games they played in the World Cup.
So how's Algeria?
It's ridiculous. But luckily, in the second half, they had a comeback and who scored the goal?
Donovan
And
got the kick.
And they had a penalty kick because Donovan got, not Donovan, but Dempsey got fouled inside the box, and then Donovan just took in the penalty kick.
The refs
were terrible.
The refs were awful.
Luckily,
all the refs hate US.
All the refs hate us.
And they're so racist.
It's ridiculous. I mean, it happened especially in the Slovenia game. That was pathetic.
That was awful.
It happened in the Algeria game when we got caught offside.
Oh,
so that was obviously not offside.
He was even about like the salt and pepper on it. It was terrible.
And then they were tied in regulation and. Like what, the first 2 minutes?
The first 2 minutes, Hong Kong guy gets wide open, kicks it, freaking makes it.
It was Carlos Bocanegra. What the crap were you thinking?
The worst defense I've ever seen.
You push him, and then you look up like, what? Where'd the ball go? That was pitiful.
I didn't understand that.
And of course, he just buries this. It wasn't not Tim Howard's fault.
No.
First goal, maybe that was still bad defending, but the first goal, maybe that was Tim Howard's fault. He was a little bit off his line.
Now here's a line. I don't know what he's doing way up there.
I know.
He almost saved it too. If he'd have been down, he could have easily got it, but
well,
he just didn't read it right.
We're live from Johannesburg in South Africa in a hotel lobby in the restaurant in the hotel.
Yeah, good looking pool in the background.
Yeah, good looking pool. And there's a couple of really mad USA fans here, so we're gonna bring in one. Taylor Hodges, come on in, buddy.
So Taylor, how long have you been here in South Africa?
Oh, the freaking time! I'm so mad. I don't even know what to talk about right now. It's just I'm very angry.
What do you have to say about the game?
These foreigners, the worst flop I've ever seen in my entire life.
I know. I used to think Europeans.
Let me finish. Yeah, I just think Europeans are probably the worst at this.
Italy.
But after watching this game, they wasted a good 10 minutes in overtime, and only gave us 3 extra minutes.
That was horrible.
It was the second half of overtime too, and they wasted about a good 10 minutes, and they only gave us 3 extra minutes. And we had some good shots, but those refs don't. And then there were so many fouls, actual fouls on them that they didn't call, but then they called these stupid little flops that the Africans would do, and it was just awful.
Speaking of that, he was one of the Ghana's players was lined up with Donovan right behind him.
Yeah, Donovan.
And Donovan didn't even touch him. He just falls fat. It was the worst fat flop I've ever seen. And of course, since the refs, they don't like the US. Of course, they called it.
Jealous.
And then. They did give us a free kick on this call, but it should have been a penalty. Bornstein got fouled inside the box, and they gave it right outside the box. And of course, the U.S. didn't score. And Michael, what do you have to say about that?
About what?
About the terrible calls.
It's ridiculous. None of them made any sense. The guy would just fall down and call it, and then the American player would get the heck pushed out of him. And I don't understand it all.
I know, this is the worst flop I've ever seen. The guy did a bicycle kick to clear, and then when they show him again, he's on the ground crying his eyes out.
And they had to get those stupid
stretchers
and pick him.
And it took at least 3 minutes for that one guy to take him.
And they gave us 3 minutes of stoppage time.
That was horrible.
That's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
All I can tell you is I'm going to be cheering the heck for Uruguay.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know US would have beat them. They just got robbed this game. But I know for a fact they would have beaten Uruguay. I mean, Uruguay's got a tough defense, but I mean, they got an alright offense. But they only have maybe 2 guys that we need to shut down on offense. So their defense is strong, but I know our offense can beat them.
Well,
too bad we'll never get to see it.
Yeah.
Some bunch of stupid Hungarian refs.
I think that one was Mexican.
One was, well, he hated it.
Yeah. We're like Mexico's biggest rivals. One of my favorites is like about the rivalry between Mexico and U.S. It's right down there if you want to see it. So let's go on.
A Mexican ref. Are we for sure that Mexican ref is it?
I'm pretty sure.
You
I
pretty
know
sure
there was
it's
2 Hungarians.
There's 2 Hungarians for sure, and
A Mexican ref in a U.S. game is like a Duke graduate ref in a North Carolina game.
I haven't even seen any U.S.
That is
refs.
retarded.
I'm
I
not
haven't
saying
seen
there
any
haven't been
American.
but I haven't
Well,
seen any
it's
games
not-
I've watched.
it's not that we're pretty diehard fans, so we love soccer. So we watch just about every one of the games. We have yet to see a U.S. ref.
I've seen a lot of them, probably 90% of them. And I haven't seen a U.S. ref yet.
Well, if you have seen a U.S. ref, leave in the comment section below if you have. So
And if there wasn't a Mexican ref, put that down too.
yeah,
Because we're not for sure.
we're not
if
for
there
sure
was
about
one.
that. We just got done watching.
But
the
if there
game.
was one, that's ridiculous.
Yes, it was terrible.
That's
And
what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I feel like going home and punching something really, really hard right now.
well, yeah. Well, there's this hotel. This hotel's pretty quiet though because all the U.S. fans are in their rooms in disbelief right now. And this guy was so mad that we found him wandering in the hall.
He was screaming at the top of his lungs. We had to calm him down before we could do the show.
Okay,
But they were like, hey, why don't you just come on here and talk?
we're coming up to our video.
So, Mr. Hodges, thanks for joining us.
We
Thank
bought you
you.
that jersey. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, it's now
Um,
prediction time. Stop it. I told you to. We're gonna. Michael has a prediction for what the U.S. will be like the next World Cup. Michael?
they're going to be so mad. They're going to kick some butt. They're going to get quicker. They're going to get more young, talented people over. And I think they're going to come back. Where's the World Cup going to be in? Brazil? I'm pretty sure it's in Brazil.
I don't know.
I have no idea, but thinking Brazil, I don't know.
Anyway.
Hey, if you know where it is, leave a comment.
Yeah, leave in the comment section if you thought the U.S. got
hosed.
or if you just leave in the comment section who you think will win and if you think the U.S. got robbed. And
My prediction for next year's World Cup, U.S. will win it all because they're going to be so mad and they're going to go on a rage and they're going to kick everybody's butt.
well, this is the Round the Table with Brent West.
And Michael Bolton.
Good night, South Africa.
Good night, Canada.